Have you ever wondered if the person that you're watching on social media is legitimate or not? Hi, my name's Mel. I'm the owner and operator of Mel's Divination. I'm here to talk to you today about something I like to call false prophets. So, first of all, let me apologize for the lighting. It's late here, and I really wanted to get this done. This is the third time I'm trying to film this video because I've had technical difficulties, and as I've mentioned before, I do not have an editing program. So I'm doing the very best I can. False prophets. So let me just preface this whole thing with, I am not the end of information, and I will never pretend to be that. I was once a teacher, and I believe strongly in checking your resources and following up on your facts, and I am a lifelong learner, and I encourage all of my followers, readers, clients, students to be that as well. So what I call a false prophet is somebody who pretends to be a spiritually enlightened individual who really isn't, who hasn't done the work, who doesn't really know what they're talking about. I'm here to share with you my experience in this situation. I have personally found that there's a lot of these people out there now that witchcraft, spirituality, and all of the metaphysical type of things are coming into more of a mainstream. And it has been my experience that some people have just seen this as a chance to make money. Now, don't get me wrong. People like me and other healers and spiritual individuals do deserve the right to make this a job. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that. What I am saying is there are people out there that are selling a product, an idea, a service, and they don't know what they're doing. And that's a problem. So let me just get down to it, because my first video was almost 35 minutes, and I was very rambly. That's the teacher in Italian in me. So, a false prophet, by my definition, is somebody who has not done the work to start with. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks of how to recognize them. Yeah, this should hopefully help you. It may also make a lot of people angry, and I do apologize for that, but you know what? It is what it is. Do the work. Don't pretend. Don't be fake. And that's one of the things with me that drives me absolutely crazy, and maybe it's the Scorpio in me, but I cannot stand inauthentic people. I cannot stand people who are not honest. I can't take it. So it's time to shine the light. It's time. So false prophets. I have come across so many, and it makes me so sick and so sad, because there are so many individuals out there that are just profiting, and they are selling something, and it's because they're a good salesman, not because they actually know what they're doing. And this world, many people who don't know how to spot the signs are taking these people's word as gospel, as truth, as if they are a guru, and they're being led down a path that it's not good, it's not healthy, it's not real. So, my rules for myself of how to recognize one, because I have truly, honestly made the mistake several times, not just once, not just twice. This is what I mean by doing the work, people. You do your own work. You learn, you live, you make mistakes, you grow, okay? And don't be ashamed of that. That's part of being a student of the world, of life. So, being a false prophet, how do you spot it? What is it? What is a telltale sign? So, here's my telltale signs for you. One is a person who says something like, "No one can help you but me. There's nobody out there like me." Now, don't get me wrong. We're all individuals. We're all unique. We all have special gifts, and we all do offer services that aren't like others. That's true. However, if this person is using a scare tactic, that is not somebody that's here to enlighten you. That is somebody who is here to cause harm. So fear-based scare tactics is a big thing that I want to talk about because they say things like, it's scary out there. We, as coaches, spiritual people, psychics, readers, witches, teachers, mentors, on and on and on, right? The list keeps getting longer, thank God. We're here to help. We're here to inspire, to empower, to give people a voice, to give people tools. So if somebody is out there saying to you, it's scary, you can't do it without me, run. This person is not real. This person is somebody who is here to scare you into giving them lots of money, who isn't going to make you feel any better at the end of the day, and you're going to become addicted to them. This person is going to disempower you. It's almost a form of mental, emotional abuse. Because what's going to happen is they're going to become like an addict. You're going to become an addict. They're going to be like a drug. And you're going to have to keep going back. Oh, they make me feel better. They make me feel grounded. They shouldn't make you feel that. You should make you feel that. And they should be teaching you how to make you feel that. Okay? So these teachers, these false prophets, disempower it rather than empower. Okay? They didn't necessarily do the work. Some of them may have. Some of them haven't. So they don't have a good foundation for their skills, a lot of them. So some pretend to know what they're talking about. And this is across the board. This is not one specific thing. I have seen it in Reiki. I have seen it with stones. I have seen it with tarot. I have seen it in writing books. I have seen it as readers. I've seen it everywhere. So it's not just one thing. It's everywhere. Okay? So another thing I've noticed that they do, they make you feel worse instead of better. So like I said, you get addicted to them. You feel like you can't survive. You can't breathe without them. I've even seen somebody go as far as talking about suicide. Yeah. And when you're spiritually enlightened, you should not be thinking about suicide. Yes, there is a whole line of thought of it's hard in this 3D body, in this world, and I want to go home, and I want to leave, and it's hard being here, and the work is hard, raising the vibration. Yes, 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 yes. But they shouldn't be feeding you with fear. They should be feeding you with empowerment. Period. Now, I've also seen that they give false promises, like they promise a product is going to deliver certain things, and it may not, or that they're going to be a certain way for you and they don't deliver, or that their personality is so down to earth, but they really actually aren't that way. I've also even seen people go as far as verbatim, word for word, copying others' work. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we as coaches, we as empaths, as channelers, as psychics, as readers, we can all channel and connect to the divine. And some of us, it can happen that we get multiple that I could get the same message as Tom over here. Yeah. It happens. It has happened. I'm not saying that that's impossible and that makes me or him a false prophet. What is a problem is if I watch a video of Tom's and he signs out saying something like peace and love, or that's actually kind of generic, but if he uses a very specific tagline like intuition and love and light and we love you, and I turn around and I end my videos with intuition and love and light and we love you, I'm copying. I'm stealing him. I'm stealing his stuff. So I've seen this. I've seen people who are maybe they're channeling the same messages. That could be. I'm not going to take away from that. But then they turn around and verbatim steal somebody's tagline. So you happened to channel the same exact message at the same exact time, and you're stealing somebody's tagline at the same time too? 2 weeks later, after they posted that video? Really? So, yeah. Let's be smart. Let's use our brains. Let's question everything. There is so much material out there. It is hard. It is hard to cross-reference. It is, right? So, it's very, very hard. How do you know if it's legit? But, the teacher in me, because I, as I've mentioned, was a teacher, plagiarism is illegal. You cannot read somebody's book and then take what they wrote and try to sell it as your book. It should be the same thing on social media, and it's not, because it's a whole new world and there's not really laws like that. But plagiarism, and maybe there are and I'm not aware of it, like I said, I'm still learning and growing. So there's still so much stuff that I don't know here. But when you rip somebody's ideas off, you're plagiarizing. That's not your idea. You're not really selling your thoughts and you're channeling messages. So be aware. Now, what I really want, the other thing I want to talk about is, why is this, I am so incredibly impassioned about this. And it's because I have bought classes, I have bought books, and I have followed people on social media that all were full of nonsense. I bought the dream. So just because somebody talks a good talk and has 125,000 followers on YouTube and has lots of people loving them when they go live doesn't mean they are really what they are. And I'm not going to name names, but I got an astrology reading from somebody who had stuff like that, and they led me to believe I was never supposed to be a reader. Guess what? They're a reader. Then I got an astrology reader from somebody who is a very majorly professional, well-known reader. And guess what? I'm supposed to be a reader. Yeah. So there's a difference. One saw me as a threat and lied to me, and she had a million other things that there were issues with. Like I took a class from her, and she didn't follow through on that. And yeah, there was a lot of problems. And there was issues on Better Business Bureau and on and on and on and on. And then one didn't see things as a threat and was honest. So it makes you question everything. And that is really important, to question everything. I've also read a book recently that, in my previous video I mentioned the author's name, and I won't mention it because I don't know if I could get in trouble for that or not, so I won't. But I read a book recently by an author who wrote a book I loved, and I think somebody just recommended to this person, hey, why don't you write a spiritual book, because the book that was really famous and well-known and did great had some praying in it. So she did. She wrote this big, wonderful spiritual book. And 3 chapters in, I'm like, wow, this person has no idea what they're talking about. They just woke up one day and decided, hey, I can throw together a spiritual book and make some money off of it. And if I hadn't read it, strike that. If I had read the reviews beforehand, I wouldn't have wasted my time. Because I'm not the only one who thought that. So, what can you do? And a lot of this was inspired by others, what I'm going to recommend. I watch all sorts of different YouTube channels. I get inspired. And I try to give credit where credit is due. So, some of the channels I watch The Hearth Witch. I watch The Witch of Wanderlust. And you'll see I tag her stuff a lot in Instagram. I watch Raquel Spring for astrology. She's amazing. So, yeah, and I can't remember who said what right now, so I'm not giving exact credit where it's due, but generally, I'm giving you guys an idea. So some people have inspired me. Yeah, it happens. And it's okay to be inspired. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how we learn. That's how we grow, right? So do your research. These people that have inspired me have taught me to do your research, to cross-reference. I think Harthwich said that. I could be wrong. I think that's what she said. They've all said read. Read, 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 read. And the teacher says read. And use your intuition and think for yourself. This journey is about learning and growing and thinking and connecting to divine or God or whoever you consider your higher power. Connecting with you and your higher self. Learning. So you need to trust you more than you trust anybody else out there. If it feels funny, it probably something's not right. So what I mean by cross-reference, wow, tongue twister. What I mean by cross-reference is if you read it in over here and nothing else lines up with it, it's probably not accurate. So check across the board before you believe one thing. Don't just read one book or one page or one channel. Look out there. Get your foundations. Okay? Think for yourself. And don't follow people that don't encourage the foundations because they probably haven't done the foundation stuff themselves. Let's see. Okay, final thoughts. I think that's it. I say a lot. I've realized that when I've rewatched my videos, so I need to work on that. Goal for me. So, thoughts for myself. Thoughts from me. A good coach or mentor will make themselves obsolete. And that's just the truth of it. Somebody that is good at what they do, coaching, teaching, mentoring, we pretty much aspire to make ourselves obsolete because we give you the tools. We will encourage you to use your tools. We will give you tools. Well, I do this. I use this for a cleansing stone, for a clearing stone, for a protective stone. We will give you information. We will say stuff like work on meditation or whatever our tools are to suggest. Everybody has different tools. So, there is no right and wrong, and you need to find where you fit. But we will encourage you. We will teach you tools to use. We won't say, you have to come to me. I have to give you a tuning session. You have to come in. It's not about this. It's about helping you learn how to help yourself. Let me say that again. Real mentors are about helping you learn how to help yourself. Let that sink in. Yeah. So, we will definitely encourage you. We won't scare you. Stuff gets scary, yeah. That's part of life. I'm not saying it's all light. There is dark, absolutely. But it's not all doom and gloom either. And we will teach you why. Why is a selenite good and not for cleansing and clearing and helping and not, I don't know, what else do I have here? And not amethyst. Why do you want selenite instead of amethyst? Well, because amethyst pulls in energies and helps with psychic readings and helps you connect to the divine. Selenite clears stuff. Why? Why do I want sage? Why do I want to use cedar over sage for cleansing? Because cedar is protection. Sage is just clearing. And sage wipes everything out. So there is a why. Always ask why. Why is important? I think that's everything. So we talked about all the don'ts and whys and what to watch out for. Ooh, I said again. Ah! So we talked about everything to watch out for. We talked about using your intuition. We talked about different things that you can do to help yourself. Tips and tricks before making a purchase. And we talked about my thoughts of it. So I think that's everything. I do think that some people are going to be unhappy with this. And I do know some people personally that are going to be like, you're calling so-and-so out. I'm not calling anybody out. I didn't use names except for the positive names of who's helped me. So I'm not calling anybody out individually, including even famous authors. I'm not calling anybody out. I am just simply telling people to be smart, to use your own brain, okay? Ask questions. Ask lots and lots and lots of questions. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment below. Subscribe. Share if this resonated with you. Be kind to me because this is going to be a nasty video for some people, I know. Remember, this is all about just teaching and learning and helping each other grow. We are children and learners of the world. And I would love to hear any ideas that you guys might have about future videos that you might be interested in. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.